Hi, my name is Dave Booth. I'm Vice President of Sales with Caliber Equipment. We specialize in industrial and commercial floor cleaning equipment. What I'd like to do today is take a couple minutes and talk a little bit about one of our products. This is the Advance Advenger, our rider scrubber. And we're going to take a few minutes and go through the basic operation and daily maintenance of this machine. Let me show you a little bit about it. As with all powered equipment, we always recommend for the first time before you operate the machine, you always refer to your owner's manual. This will go through not only the basic operation of the machine, but also safety information. So again, when you operate this type of equipment, you always want to refer to the owner's manual before operating it. The next thing you want to do before you actually run the machine is take a walk around the machine and make sure everything is in good working order. Now, this is a battery-powered rider scrubber. Has a 30-gallon tank, both solution and recovery. This particular version has a 32-inch disc scrubbing deck. Now, this particular machine can be designed with different size decks, both in disc for scrubbing commercial floors, as well as cylindrical for industrial, where it's going to sweep and scrub up the debris. Before you're operating the machine on the first shift, it's always encouraged to take a minute and walk around the machine, make sure everything's in good working order before you start. You can look at the front of the machine. This is a front steer drive machine. Make sure that your front tire is in good shape. There's no splits, cracks, or any broken pieces of material on it, and you can inspect that. Come around to the side. You have a side skirt on the machine, which can easily be removed to access your brush or pad. We want to make sure we have a nice clean pad ready to scrub the floor, or if you have a brush, that it's also in good working order. As we work around to the back of the machine, we're going to make sure that the squeegee, which is very important to drying the floor, that the rubber is in good shape, there's no tears or rough edges on it. If so, that needs to be corrected before you operate if you want to have a good dry floor. This is your recovery hose. You want to make sure there's no clogs and it's been properly cleaned out, and it should have been done at the prior shift. The drain hose for draining the dirty water. Again, we got to make sure there's no cuts or tears in this, otherwise it's not going to have the right suction that the machine needs. You have another side skirt on the deck on this side, same thing as the other. Want to make sure that the rubber's in good order. And of course, this has two rear tires, same thing. We want to inspect these and make sure there's no cracks or cuts or any broken pieces on it that may affect the safety of the machine. The Advance Advenger is a battery-powered rider scrubber, has deep cycle batteries. You have two tanks, one for your clean water, one for your dirty water. The basic principle of any scrubber is to put clean water and detergent down to the floor where the brush head is, so it's going to scrub the floor, and as you move along, the dirty water then is picked up at the rear of the machine and deposited into a recovery tank. Alright, let's go ahead and take a minute and walk through and talk about the features and the operation here in the operator's compartment of the Advance Advenger. As you see, you have your steering at the front of the machine. It does have an adjustable steering column. Down here you have the gas pedal, which by pushing it forward will move the machine at a forward speed, and your heel pushing on the back of the pedal is going to make it go in reverse. Next to it we have a brake pedal. Use that for stopping, and if you want to park, we lock it in. Push down and it releases it. On the Avenger, the control panel is a very simple system to operate. First of all, you've got a key switch which turns the power on. And when you first turn it on, you're going to see you have a green light next to the arrow in the up position on a brush. That tells you all systems are off, so you can drive the machine around so you can go to your first area of cleaning. The next button is for setting the machine in the scrub mode. By pushing it one time, as you'll see, all these buttons light up. These are on standby. They're all yellow, telling you those are the functions that are going to turn on as soon as you touch your operator's pedal. Your brushes are going to start spinning. This is your water control. It tells you that the valve is going to open up to put water and detergent on the floor. And this is a vacuum. Your rear squeegee is going to also start picking up the water. Now, this particular machine has multiple down pressure settings. Right now we're on setting 4. By hitting the button with the plus sign, we can increase that for additional down pressure in heavily soiled areas up to level 9. By hitting the minus, we're going to reduce the down pressure, and we can bring it all the way down to level 1 for very light scrubbing on very smooth floors. So it gives you the flexibility to put as much down pressure as needed based on your cleaning conditions. When you push the gas pedal, all these go into the green, which tells you those are going to be functioning. Down here on the steering column, above your gas pedal and your brake, you'll see you have a water solution flow control valve. This controls how fast your cleaning solution is going to flow to your brushes when you're in the scrub mode. So for very light cleaning, you can move it all the way up for a very little bit of water in the solution, or all the way down for heavy soiled areas for a high flow of cleaning solution. As we work our way down the control panel, this button here to the left is for the horn for safety. The next button, you'll see a turtle and a rabbit. This is for when you're in the scrub mode, the machine automatically slows down so you can give the machine proper time to do the job. But by pressing the button, you can override it and go at a little faster speed. When you're not scrubbing, the machine will automatically go at its fastest pace. The next button here to the right is for an off-tool vacuum wand. If you need to suck up and clean areas that the machine can't access by pushing this button and attaching a vacuum wand like a shop vac to the back of the machine, you can use it as a detail tool with the rest of the machine. Down here on the bottom left, you'll see this is your battery indicator. Right now, the green light is at the plus, meaning you have a full charge. As you operate the machine and as the batteries go down, it'll go to yellow and then it'll go to red. When it goes to the red, that means you need to go back and charge up the machine. The Avenger is a battery-powered rider scrubber, and to access the battery compartment, you simply lift up the operator seat, set the safety latch in place. This now gives you access to the battery compartment. This is a 36-volt machine, so it has 6-volt deep cycle batteries. Important part about any battery-powered scrubber is regular maintenance on the batteries. All the batteries need to be checked on a regular basis to make sure there's sufficient water in each of the cells in each of the battery so that the batteries can run properly. The best time to check the water level and add additional distilled water when necessary is after it's been properly charged. The other thing to look at when you're checking the batteries is to make sure all of your cables are nice and tight so they haven't come loose. A loose cable will affect the charging and the operation of the machine and may damage it. Next to the battery compartment is your charging connection. At the front there's a long red rod. This is your emergency disconnect. So by pushing it, it automatically disconnects the power to the machine. And as well, you can take this, plug it into your standalone charger to charge up the batteries. It would connect into here, and then the charger would plug into a regular 110 wall outlet. When you're ready to put the machine back in service, simply disconnect this from your charger and slide it firmly back into the connection. You want a nice tight fit and want to be careful not to crack it. When you're done, lift the seat up and you're ready to start scrubbing. The Advance Advenger has 2 compartments. It's a 30-gallon machine, so it has a 30-gallon solution tank and a 30-gallon recovery tank for your dirty water. When it's time to fill up the machine prior to operation, simply by opening up this compartment gives you access down into your 30-gallon solution tank where you can put your water and your cleaning detergent prior to scrubbing. Here in the rear of the machine, we have a 30-gallon recovery tank, which can be accessed by opening up this large lid. So it gives you good access when you're done at the end of the shift to drain the dirty water simply by removing the drain hose, opening up the cap, dropping it down to the ground so that it drains out, and then you can go into the recovery tank and flush it out. Make sure we get all the chemicals, the dirty water, and any sediment that may be accumulated in the bottom. Once you've rinsed it, simply put the cap back on and securely position it back on the machine. The Advance Advenger can be customized to the right type of deck for your floor conditions and maneuverability and cleaning performance. This particular model has a 32-inch cleaning path with disc brushes or pads. By simply loosening these 2 hand nuts, you can easily remove the side skirt, which is there to keep the solution under the machine, which then gives you access to simply remove your pad if you're cleaning marble, terrazzo, wax finished floors, or on concrete you could use a brush. But they're simply removed so you can inspect them, change your pads, and then when you're ready, by simply putting it back up under the machine and giving it a twist, we'll lock it in place and you're ready to continue scrubbing. Well, that was lousy. When you're ready, you simply slide it under the machine, give it a twist, and it locks back in place. Then by replacing your side skirt, make sure they sit up on top of these yellow adjustment stops. Simply rest on top, and then hand tighten them back on. No tools are necessary, and the other side comes off the same. This particular machine, you can order decks from 28-inch up to 35-inch cleaning path, in both in the disc version, or you can get cylindrical, which sweeps and scrubs at the same time. The key to a dry floor with any automatic scrubber is the squeegee tool in the back. This is the part of the machine, along with the vacuum, that is going to pick up the dirty water and leave you a dry floor. It's important to inspect this periodically and to clean it. So by simply loosening these two nuts that are on the back of the machine, it simply slides off. You now can remove the vacuum hose so that we can inspect, make sure nothing's gotten clogged in there, and we can inspect the bottom of the tool. This needs to be taken off on a regular basis so we can flush off any chemicals or grease or buildup that's inside of these channels, and then inspect the rear and the front blade. Again, the rear blade is critical to leaving you a dry floor. Over time, the edges are going to get worn and beveled or maybe torn, and if that happens, by simply releasing this band, you can take the blade and turn it over. Now we've moved the outer edge to the inside, so we have a sharp edge for a dry floor. When these edges have been worn out, you simply flip the blade over because you have two more edges on top. And the same thing can be done on the rear inner blade should it become overly worn or torn. By taking off this band with these wing nuts, this blade also can be flipped over. After you've rinsed it, by simply taking it and putting it back on the rear of the machine, and then hand tightening these two nuts. We want to make sure it's snug, but it'll break off in the event that it's caught on some type of equipment. And then simply remove or replace the vacuum hose and you're ready to scrub.